gut, dass ja soweit ich weiß, das ist Molly.
What's up, guys? It's your boy, the man, the myth, the legend, Pickdroppers, back at it again with a NBA predictions video, and I'm also going to talk about some offseason trades that have happened and that I think are going to happen. Now, the NBA Finals just finished, I think, a week ago or so, and there's been a lot of news about the drafts and trades in the past week or two. And it's definitely going to be interesting to see what happens until the start of the NBA season. But the first trade that has already been inked is, correct me if I'm wrong, the Celtics had the number 1 seed. Philadelphia had the number 3. Philadelphia then traded their 3 seed with Boston. So now Philly has the 1 seed, but Philly also gave up their 2018 round pick. It's protected, I'm pretty sure. If like LA gets the between the 2 and the 5 pick, and then also if LA does not get between the 2 and the 5 pick, then they'll get the 2019 pick from, I'm pretty sure, Minnesota. I think that's what Boston got. And so Philadelphia pretty much is saying that they want Markelle Fultz. At least that's what everybody's predicting. Markelle Fultz will go number 1. And I definitely think that might be a very likely thing to happen. I mean, Markelle Fultz went to Philadelphia to see Embiid and all of them, and they practiced with him. And so I would give like a 90 to 95% chance that Philadelphia drafts Markelle Fultz. And that's definitely going to be scary in a couple of years. Philadelphia, Minnesota, LA, the Suns, all 4 of those teams are going to be really good in a couple of years. And so it's definitely going to be interesting to see how they're going to do. And right now, a lot of people are saying that Boston's GM looks very dumb. But if you guys don't forget, Boston, for some reason, for the last like 5 or 6 years, they've drafted like 1 good player, and they've had like 15 picks. So Boston's not good at all at drafting players. And in case you guys did not know, Markelle Fultz's college team didn't even win 10 games. And he's supposed to be the number 1 prospect. Now, I do think he's the number 1 prospect. A big reason why they didn't win in double digits is because he had nobody around him. His whole team was straight garbage. But that's what it's going to be in the NBA versus other NBA players when you're drafted that high. Unless he was going to go to Boston, but when you're at Philly, he's going to be going against very good teams, and his players are going to look very bad compared to them for the first year or 2. But then after that, they're going to look really good, especially with their stars coming up. And I definitely feel like it was a pretty even trade for both sides, because we'll never know how good Markelle Fultz is until a couple more years. And so that's when we'll be able to tell if if the trade paid off. We also, even if Markelle Fultz is looking really good, maybe the Celtics pick that they'll gain in 2018 will be amazing. And so we won't know for probably another like 5 years if this trade really was a good trade. But right now, I feel like it's pretty much an even deal. I can understand why both sides did it. Boston, a lot of rumors are going around that Boston wants to get load up on more picks so that they can make a trade with Chicago to get Butler, and that would definitely be very good if they can get Butler and then maybe even get Gordon Hayward in free agency, because Boston's coach, if you did not know, was the coach of Gordon Hayward in college when they were at Butler. When I'm pretty sure that's when they went to the Final Four, and that was a magical season. And it would definitely be interesting if both Butler and Hayward went to Boston. I think that would just be crazy. See them go against the Cavs for the Eastern Conference. That would just be an awesome matchup. I would definitely want to watch that. And they could even make a contention against, they might be playing against the Warriors also in the finals if they can even make it that far. I know that's going a lot into the future, but You never know. I definitely feel like that could be very interesting. But maybe Butler stays. I really don't know. I don't think he'll stay. But you don't know if he's going to Cleveland. He might go to another team. You really can't say right now. And it's definitely going to be interesting to see what happens. All I'm hoping for is for to be much more competitive this year, because as you guys know, last year wasn't really competitive. But that's it really for Boston. Cleveland, a lot of noise is coming out of Cleveland that they might get Butler. Butler said a couple of months ago that his favorite player to play with was Kyrie Irving, and that he really wanted to play with a shooter like Kyle Korver, which is definitely interesting. He said that on First Take, and so maybe that means he might want to go to Cleveland. I don't know. I think Cleveland would definitely be a very good place for Butler. Especially pairing him up with LeBron James, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Love, Tristan Thompson. Just imagine that starting five. And then you have old Darren Williams coming off the bench with Kyle Korver. That's just a scary team. That team, I think, would be the greatest of all time. Though that starting five, that's just so scary, especially if Tristan Thompson can play much better in the finals. And then you also have J.R. Smith coming off the bench. That is scary. That would just be one of the scariest teams of all time. But I definitely think they would need to give up stuff for a trade with Butler. What I'm seeing, they might trade away not Darren Williams, Kyle Korver or J.R. Smith, and maybe a couple of draft picks to try and get Butler. I definitely think that would be worth it. I don't think they should give up Kyrie Irving, Kevin Love, or obviously LeBron James for Butler, because they really need all three of them. But, a lot of rumors are also going around that they might want to get Paul George. I definitely think Paul George is much better than Butler. And a big reason for that is because of the height. There's a pretty big height difference. And I just think that Paul George just plays better. I feel like he's just a little bit better of a shooter, and his reach really helps him on defense. And I feel like Paul George could guard Kevin Durant, and then you could probably have LeBron on Draymond. And I'm going way into the future in the finals, but I feel like that would definitely be a really good matchup. I do not know what they would give up for Paul George, though. They might have to give up either Kyrie Irving or Kevin Love. I feel like them giving up Kevin Love for Paul George is definitely the move to go with. Very smart move. I definitely feel like Kevin Love is nowhere close to as good as Paul George. And in case you guys didn't forget, even though Indiana got swept, they were a couple of plays away from being up like 3-1 in that series. And so it's definitely interesting. They were one shot away from winning one game. I'm pretty sure they were like 2 possessions away from winning another. They just played very well. They blew a big lead that they should have had in, I think, either Game 3 or Game 4, or maybe it was Game 2 or 1. I don't know. It was one of the games. And so it definitely could have been much closer, and a big reason for that was Paul George. And Paul George has already said he does not plan on coming back after free agency, so that's very interesting. I do think he's most likely to go to LA, but I also think that Indiana's going to want to trade him because he said he's going to leave, so they're going to try to get some picks or something for him. And so that's definitely going to be interesting, see what happens there. I'm definitely very psyched for this upcoming NBA season, much more than last year, because especially if a trade happens, a big trade, that would be super interesting. I just really want to see what happens. The Suns, there's rumors coming out from Phoenix that they're going to get Lonzo Ball most likely. I'm pretty sure they have the number 2 pick. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure. I know they have a pretty high pick, but if they do get Lonzo Ball, pairing him with Devin Booker, he's on the same. They're pretty much all the same age. Devin Booker, Tyler Ulis, Chris Marquise Chris, I'm pretty sure that's his name, Dragan Bender, and then Lonzo Ball. They're pretty much all very early 20s, late teens even for some of them. So that's definitely going to be exciting, maybe 5-7 years. That is just a scary lineup. And because they're all rookies, that Phoenix doesn't have to pay them all the way up to the max, or they don't pay them all the way up to the max. So I feel like they could get another max player from free agency. They can maybe make a big splash and get some veteran presence in the lineup. I know they're right now planning for the future, so they don't want to get people that are too old and pay them too much, because that's not really what their team's looking for. But it's definitely going to be interesting to see what they do, see if they make some moves in free agency. But I'm definitely excited to see what happens. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and write a comment down below on what you would like to see next. It's your boy Pickdroppers, and I'm out. Peace!